Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. I'm your host, Josh, and with me is my two co-hosts.
It's your boy, Chayse.
And it's your boy, Nick.
Coming into our first topic for the day, The Mandalorian. This is episode 4, The Siege, directed by Carl Weathers. It's written by Jon Favreau. In this episode, you have the Mandalorian who is returning to an old planet and visiting Cara Dune and Greef Karnak, who are played by Carl Weathers and Gina Carano. The people, really good characters from the first season. So I know we talked about last week. I think I mentioned before of how I, kind of wanted to see them back again, and I thought they were pretty good characters. And, I think they had good chemistry together. So they're back again in this episode. He's coming to the planet to give repairs on his ship, and then while he's there, they said they need his help destroying a Imperial base. And you have some, opening of the episode, you have some good moments between Mando and the kid, reminiscent, very much of a father-son, son type relationship. The father trying to direct the son to try to fix something, and the son doesn't know what the hell he's doing. You know what I mean? Just looking like trying to, like your dad trying to tell you how to, to help him fix a car. You're just like, what the hell are you talking about? I have no idea what any of this is. You're telling me things I have no idea. And I thought that was a nice little sequence. First of all, I don't know why he even thought that he would be able to even understand him or what he was able going to do. I didn't have no idea why he
it kind of reminded me of like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, like when they were setting up the bomb and they were like giving directions to Baby Groot. Okay, all right. So this button that detonates sets the timer. This button kills everyone. Which button do we press? I am Groot. No! Damn it!
That is a good comparison. That's a really spot on comparison because it was. I don't know why you thought that was a good idea. Like, to send him.
Well, it was a tiny space and the child could fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get.
That's why.
Yeah, I guess Mando was just like, I don't feel like trying to even attempt to squeeze myself in there. So.
Also, to potentially get in there, he'd have to take off all his armor, including his helmet, and can't because this is the way.
And taking off the helmet.
Take it off when he's by himself.
That's not the way, though. That's not the way. Yeah. Shoving the kid into an electrical wired situation is the way.
Yeah, apparently.
Also, we've kind of like realized that Mando is not a good father figure. So child endangerment is the way.
Yeah, always the way. That's how they learn, through experience.
I guess he won't. I guess he'll learn next time where to put the right wire. I guess Baby Yoda. He'll learn next time, I guess. But that was a nice opening to the episode. Good humor there, I thought. And then when he comes to the planet where Cara Dune and Carl Weathers' characters on. Coming back and see like the changes that have been made. She's like the marshal of the town now. You see they have a school now. It was funny. Another good humorous episode is like when he dropped off the baby, like when they left the baby at the school and everything like that, and they just placed him in the seat and all the kids were just looking.
And like I was thinking, wait, you guys don't even have like a kindergarten class for him?
Or like a preschool, where they have like the babies, the babies who cannot actually talk and answer questions.
I mean, that scene gets creepier when you realize that Baby Yoda is 50 years old.
True.
They're like, nah, it's okay. He'll figure it out. It's all right. He'll be fine. You know what I mean? He'll be fine. And so when they go to this Imperial base with the help of Mando in order to blow it up, they discover something. I think this episode has a lot more to the more overarching plot of the show, and maybe something that will continue on for maybe multiple seasons. Because you have to think that what's the end game here? Is the end game of this show just to get Baby Yoda to his people, and then that's it? What's the broader things of this show that want to go on and want to continue? Because I don't know how long they want to continue with this show. I think Chayse at one time asked like, how long do you? He asked me and me and Nick, how long do you think the show should go on? And I think me and Nick both said about like 5 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons. I think that's good for any show, and to just cap it off right there. And I like kind of like this show is seeding kind of those things in for maybe something bigger to go on for maybe more multiple seasons. And things like that. What were your general thoughts on the episode?
So I'm not gonna lie. At first, when he said to Baby Yoda, "We're gonna go see some old friends," and the ship was like in a wreck, I was scared that they were gonna go back to see the mechanic, because I knew I knew you were going to shit on this episode if she had another appearance. But I'm happy with how they handled returning to old friends with Cara and Carl Weathers' character. What's his character's name again?
Oh, Grief Karga.
Yeah, Grief Karga.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Apollo Creed.
Yeah, Apollo. Yeah, Space Apollo. And I love the seeds that they were planting. And I think that there were some seeds that you could even potentially connect to the movies. As much as I don't want them to be canon, the whole cloning thing is kind of integral to the last movie of the sequel. So it'd be interesting to see if they tie that in somehow, some way, and whether or not Baby Yoda or the Jedi were meant, or whoever Moff Gideon is looking for to clone, if the Jedi are a part of that whole process.
Yeah, this is So it turns out this supposedly abandoned Imperial base. This is what looks like a cloning facility on planet Navarro, and you get hints at what Gideon wanted with the child. Like he was harvesting blood to potentially clone Force users. But they failed, and that may be what's maybe a plan. Another thing that I thought of, that Gideon's kind of like wiping out what's left of the Jedi, because because I'm thinking if Gideon is like very much a Gus Fring type, he's thinking the long game.
Yeah.
So he knows he can't get Baby Yoda from Mando, and he knows Mando is most likely gonna try and find other Force users. So it's potentially gonna follow him, and I wouldn't be shocked if like an episode after they introduce Ahsoka, I wouldn't be shocked if they kill her.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the show is just continuing Mandy and the kid on the run, and that's like the whole show.
Yeah, because we come to find out that the mechanics that Carl Weathers has repair Mando's ship are actually loyal to Moff Gideon and the Empire. So they basically put trackers on Mando's ship. So yeah, he's basically just leading Gideon right to Ahsoka. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. And it's kind of curious, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do a Last Jedi with Ahsoka, because I think like the last time we see her in canon, it's a face-off with Darth Vader, after she finds out that this Imperial warlord was her former master.
Yeah, and she handled him pretty well.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a more disillusioned Ahsoka this time around.
Yeah, because at the end of the series, she became what is known as a Gray Jedi, right?
I don't think even officially a Gray Jedi. She just like doesn't affiliate with the Jedi or the Sith, and like her lightsabers in Rebels are white instead of like any traditional color.
Now, you do say Last Jedi, but for this, it makes a lot more sense for her character.
Yeah, because we've kind of seen that character grow throughout the Clone Wars, and especially in the final episodes, how she pretty much lost everything and everyone.
Yeah,
and Rebels find out that the cause of it was someone she was essentially raised by.
Yeah.
So do you think that we're going to see Ahsoka Tano in the next episode, or do you think it's going to be like the second to last episode or the very last episode?
I hope it's not like the last 2 episodes of the season, because I feel like she's too big of a character in Star Wars to save until the very end of the season, especially because you spent so much time setting her up.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, unfortunately. Because
this show definitely has issues with pacing and with filler.
Yeah. But I hesitate to call this episode filler because it does add a lot and it sets up a lot.
True, but it doesn't add really a lot until like maybe the last like 10 minutes of the episode.
That's fair.
Or towards the tail end
That's
of it.
fair. But I think it does further establish, all right, so Moff Gideon is the endgame villain, probably.
Yeah.
He's cloning force sensitive people for whatever purpose that might be connected to the movies. I hope not, to be honest with you.
Because this may be like Gideon may be like a precursor to what we eventually becomes the First Order in the sequel trilogy.
Like he may have made Snoke for all we know. You know.
So this is only 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So this is presumably before the new trilogy, correct?
Yeah.
So this is before.
Yeah, because the new trilogy is like 30 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay. No, I thought it said it was 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
No, the sequel trilogy.
Oh, the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
30.
yeah.
So they said it was 30 years after Return of the Jedi. So this is this could be something that they precursor to the sequel trilogy and what leads up to all of that. These clone Force users. It's interesting because like watching something like Rebels and then even playing the Star Wars Fallen Order video game, there were these things called the Inquisitors. Which were these, Force, dark, kind of these Sith,
Jedi Force users that were captured and tortured into becoming Inquisitors, and basically just assassins for like Vader and the Empire.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if they do something like maybe like that with these type of people, these type of clones.
With Gideon, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a former Inquisitor, because he's like handling a lightsaber. He's like one of the few as far as we know, the non-Force user that's using a lightsaber.
I mean, we just used the dark saber, right? I mean, we just see him kind of use that and cut a hole into when he at the end of the first. At the end of the last episode of the first season, he just kind of did that, cutting the hole into the TIE fighter.
True, but even his uniform, it doesn't look like any of the other like Moths or other Imperials that we've seen on the show, in canon. His outfit looks more like an Inquisitor than it does anything else. Like I noticed, like even like little computer panels, it's very reminiscent of Vader.
Yeah. It did look very Vader-esque, and even the clones, like you see them, like they have suits on themselves, and they kind of look very kind of like a mixture between a stormtrooper and the Vader suit.
Those are the Death Troopers that we first saw in Rogue One. Those are essentially the Navy SEALs of the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So those,
so they can actually hit stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna make that joke.
Yeah, so they're like because the elite force, kind of like that, of the stormtrooper unit of the task force there. So they're planting seeds like that to potentially build the groundwork for what it will be the sequel trilogy. Possibly, that's what we're thinking. Which could be very good. That's what they've been doing a lot with. That's what they did with Clone Wars. They filled in a lot of those gaps with those movies and kind of almost made those movies kind of retroactively somewhat kind of better in a way, or just like they actually did something with that material. You saw like the prequels weren't just complete dumpster fire because, well, at least you were able to pull something out of it, like what they did with the Clone Wars show, like what they did with Rebels. And then a lot of Star Wars stuff does take place in between that period of, after Revenge of the Sith and when the original trilogy started. A lot of stuff always took place Star Wars wise in between that time period. So maybe they're going to advance it now to like, okay, well, majority of stuff now is going to take place after Return of the Jedi and before Rise of Skywalker, like stuff in between that possible date, and explore that level of what's going to go on. And something interesting, that if they ever do another Star Wars show and they continue kind of making Star Wars shows, something I would really like to see is stuff about just the Republic and just like a normal rebellion pilot, because at the end of this episode you see like a rebel pilot come and like I guess they call him to just to give a report to him, I guess, and he's taking down information like a regular kind of like a beat cop and things like that. I would actually love to see a series just about like a rebel pilot or the Republic trying to maintain order in the galaxy in between that time when the Empire fell and then them trying to take over, and what that's kind of like. I think that would be kind of interesting to do. Just kind of like this kind of normal guy, normal person, whoever, just kind of goes around, with his, partner, and just try to figure out, like, trying to maintain order in this galaxy. And because in the rebel pilot in this also mentions, like, there's these core planets that, so maybe life is, like, really good on these core planets. They focused on that, but they completely just forgot about everybody else, and then everything else is just going completely to ruin. And maybe people are saying, you know what, you guys kind of suck. I kind of want the Empire back. You know what I mean? Like, they had some type of order.
Yeah, because even Karga mentions at one point that if the Empire, this is the Outer Rim. If the Empire couldn't maintain order out here, then why would the New Republic?
Yeah. That would be interesting to see that dynamic, to see potentially more like economic issues be brought up.
More of what I think George Lucas was intending with the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
So I would like to see some more of that stuff, like a little bit of the more other planets. How do they live life? You have these core planets that maybe a lot of people visit, and then these outer rim planets that completely just forgot about and left to just ruin, pillaged, all that stuff.
I'd also just love a planet with some biodiversity for once. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Have more than one continent.
Yeah. So when people in Star Wars, is it just like a few 100 people just go to one planet and then that's it? It's just like one little colony on each planet. It's not they don't inhabit the whole planet.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's just like one little colony. Like, what the fuck?
I think it like varies planet to planet, because you see like Coruscant, that's a city planet. So of course that's going to be more sparsely populated. That's where the capital of the Republic and where the Empire was. So I feel like the more urbanize the environment, like the more of a population you'll have.
I'm not so,
but even on like some of the planets we've seen, a lot of it isn't really habitable. Like Navarro, it's a huge chunk of it is just active volcano. We've seen a lot of snow planets, a lot of forest.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that populations would be more or less scattered among like certain continents or just small villages.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Chase. I don't know what other like feature you could really have, because they've done all the different features. They've done ice. They've done fire. They've done trees, the forest. I don't know what other feature.
Hey man, I mean, all I'm saying is Earth has all of it. Let's.
Yeah, it does have all of it. Yeah.
Well, can you give me a planet with at least two of these? But
you get one each planet.
no, I get it. I get it. When I thought about it,
do you have multi-ecosystem planet money? Oh.
when I thought about it, I was just like, all right, yeah, no, that makes sense because Earth is kind of a rarity, so they're not gonna just stumble upon all these other semi-habitable or habitable planets such as Earth.
I mean, I think planets like Naboo or Alderaan were probably the closest to Earth in Star Wars canon, and one of those got blown up.
Yeah.
I do. Yo, you know what would be cool though? If there was kind of like that whole Rebel Pilot series, but also one where they're looking for a better like core planet. You know what I'm saying? Because like you mentioned how they have like the 4 core planets, so I'm assuming those are the most Earth-like, and maybe they're looking for the next big Earth-like core planet. That'd be kind of fun. But
pretty sure we already saw that, and it was a movie called Prometheus.
Ah, yeah, true.
Or Alien Covenant.
I was thinking that sounds like more like something like Star Trek. You know.
True. We are stepping on Star Trek territory.
Pilots go out search for
the
fanboys.
Fuck that. I want lasers and space magic.
But
I mean,
and to go back to actually like the action of the show of this episode, I feel like the action in this episode was a lot more fun. Granted, I did like the action in last episode, but just the way
the last episode, it feels like it was done by somebody who it was well done, but it also feels like somebody who hasn't like been around like action and stunts. Carl Weathers, he's like one of the OGs. Yeah. He was Predator. He was in Predator. He's been in some of the best 80s action movies. He's been around this his entire career. So I feel like he's picked up a lot more tricks from the people he's worked with. And here the action is really good. Like especially the opening with Gina Carano, how that's choreographed. And the whole canyon chase that we see with the TIE fighters. That's all really well done.
Now, you know what was really funny though? So I wonder whose idea it was to have, all right, so we're sending out 5 pilots and then like 2 of them crash into each other and die before they even get to the chase. They're like going down the mountain and they die together. I'm just like, wow.
That was a steep ass hill and there were a lot of rocks. I get it.
No, but like they've never gone down that hill before. Is that really their first time? Like
I guess so, yeah.
Like,
I guess because they didn't want to make themselves known, I guess, maybe.
But that was funny.
They don't know the terrain.
That was funny. Yeah. I appreciated it, even though it was kind of like one of those, like, wow, are they really that dumb?
I mean, this is the Empire, so...
Yeah. And when the chase ended, it had a very classic kind of like Star Wars moment where Mando comes in with his ship and blasts the type. That was a very classic kind of Star Wars feel to it.
Yeah, and I loved.
And it was fun. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I love the little moments he has with Baby Yoda in that scene because he's just like Papa still got it, right? He's doing like the spin around and being all fancy with it. And then,
and while Baby Yoda's like waving his arms up, screaming, "Yeah!" like a kid on a roller coaster.
Yeah. That's definitely going to be a ride at Disney.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
Mando ride.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a ride. Yeah.
And get your Baby Yoda plushies for $50.
Yeah. Nah, you being generous. $80.
You're right. Generous. That's more Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, it's $100 now.
But yeah, I mean, I thought the action was really good. Gina Carano, I mean, she's good at throwing a punch, not so good at saying a line, but
speaking of criticisms for this episode, they try to have a emotional moment with her character at the very end of the episode because it's revealed that she was born on Alderaan, and I guess that's kind of her catalyst for joining the rebellion. And I think with a better actor, it would have sold more, but her delivery is like really stiff and kind of emotionless, so it's a moment that kind of falls flat for me.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just not really that strong of an actress. I don't know how much her personal stuff is going to come into the show, and if that's going to conflict. I don't think they're going to get rid of her. I mean, do you guys think they're possibly going to get rid of her?
Wait, what?
For saying, well, she's gotten into some trouble saying some stuff online. She's like a big like anti-mask person, and
yeah, she's kind of came out as a anti-mask, kind of pandemic denying.
Oh, God.
She joined Parlor, which is
like a super right wing kind of like it's just people like their stuff is too crazy for stuff like Facebook and Twitter, because like stuff like that, like, you know, they got censorship on there that will ban for like fake news and stuff like that if you say like the election was rigged and stuff like that, conspiracy theory. So it's a place to go where you can just talk about all that conspiracy type stuff and you know, all that stuff. So she believes like voted like the whole election was rigged and all this other stuff. So she's a big person who believes all that.
Well, I mean,
whatever.
Well, so it's like a QAnon.
So the guys that
it's like a QAnon social media.
Yeah.
It's
basically Twitter for QAnon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
stuff like that. Yeah.
She's great in the action scenes. I'll give her that. But you know, if they replace her, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I don't think it will. I mean, it would be kind of maybe jarring. I mean, like you're already 2 seasons in with this character.
If Game of Thrones could get away with it, then they can.
Well, I mean, they did it with like a barely like a side character, and you know, like Game of Thrones has like 50 gazillion characters. You know what I mean? Like, and they did it with like kind of like a side character. You know, they've done it with you know, not like a main core character they ever did it with.
I mean,
they never did that.
I mean, well, we did have.
I don't even think she's a main core character.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Yeah, she's like in like maybe two.
She's part of the crew.
The crew.
She's part of the crew.
She ain't on the ship. She was only in for like 3-4 episodes.
I mean, you wouldn't say the main crew is like her, and then it's Carl Weathers, like in the even the mechanic lady. I would say that's the crew. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like the main recurring people. You know?
Okay, I guess because there's like no one else really recurring in the show.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's like a, you know, old school type show, kind of like Western, where you bring in all these different, like, you know, kind of big time actors to come in and, you know, do guest spots, you know what I mean, stuff like that.
Well, it's a big galaxy, so we'll see.
Yeah. So what's so final ratings for this episode?
I'd give it an 8. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, I will as well. It's 8 out of 10. The action, the comedy beats. Pretty much the only reason it doesn't get higher is because that like last moment with Cara Dune, something that with a better actor could have like shown off some depth to that character and added something that you could go back to later on. But Gina Carano, I'm sorry, she can't act.
No, she can't.
She's very much like a Keanu Reeves to me. She's great with action.
Whoa.
Hey, there's a reason the first John Wick is better than the sequels.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, she's not that strong of an actress. But she's good in the action parts, good in the action scenes, you know. And I think when she's working with Carl Weathers or she's working with like him, I think they do well, kind of bouncing off each other. Okay. And actually, I don't know if you all saw this, but if you go to like 1824, apparently, like in the episode, you can see the background guy, like I guess like a stage hand. In the background.
Oh no!
You can like go there. You see a dude like his arm and like part of his torso. And
oh no! It's the coffee scandal again.
Yeah. So I mean, apparently, look out for that Easter egg of some dude who's just standing in the back. He didn't get the hell out the way. They just started filming and they just didn't catch that, I guess.
Mickey's about to murder that guy.
So let's go for
a ride in the car.
nice little Easter egg there. But like everybody said, I mean, good action, good humor. Thought this was a solid episode. Really planted seeds for something bigger that will go on later episodes, later season. Stuff that I really like there. I hope they don't wait till the last 2 episodes to introduce Ahsoka Tano. I hope they introduce her next episode. I hope it's not another thing of like, hey, get to this place. Oh, before I tell you this other thing, you got to do this one thing for me and go here to do this other thing, and then come back and then I'll tell you the information. I hope it's nothing like that again. So I would give it the episode. I agree. I give it a 8 out of 10. Agree with everybody here. That was a solid episode.
Yeah, and if like they decide to kill Ahsoka, all hope isn't lost, because I think that you could also potentially introduce Cal Kestis from the Fallen Order game. Because I feel like he'd maybe be in like his 40s by the time this show comes around.
Okay. I like that. I like that idea. Underrated character.
Yeah. All right. So, moving on from get out of here, people. Hey, people, you all know what to do. Do that good stuff. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Give comments, concerns, constructive criticisms. Let us know what we did right. Let us know what we did wrong. If you want to chat with us, you can always email us at theafternoontune@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at twitter.com/theafternoontune. You can also find us on Facebook at Facebook page, facebook.com/theafternoontune. Also on Instagram at theafternoontune. Chase, where people can find you.
You can find me at Mr. Chayse Mac at Twitter, Instagram. I'm actually now streaming on Twitch.
Sweet.
Not really
streaming on Twitch.
I don't have a schedule or anything, but it's more so just like a sporadic hobby that whenever I sort of, whenever I feel like playing games and talking to people, I'll be on there.
All right, people, make sure you do not give him bits.
Yeah.
Do not give him bits. Do not.
I don't need your money.
Yeah, don't simp for Chase, people.
Yeah, you could simp for better things and better people. But where can they find you, Nick?
All right, you can find me on Facebook, Nick Taylor, or Twitter and Instagram at Night and Day Nick.
Great. All right. So, to all you people out there listening to this, whenever you're listening to this, hope you are having a great time, and don't forget to always stay tuned